What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. I have my friend Kyle with me. Hi, Kyle.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited to have you on the podcast. It's been fun to have you over to my home. First time.
Gorgeous dinner, gorgeous home.
Thank you.
Admiring everything about it.
I was nervous to cook for you. Well, and I should say, all I did was the prep work.
That's half of it.
It is. It's kind of honestly, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Depends on the meal you're making, but tonight was pasta. So I would say it was over half.
But like I came in and there was a lot of stuff chopped. Like I came in and there was a whole salad made. There was
Which I did not work today.
the leek and the lemon.
Yeah.
So good. yeah, no, I was impressed.
Thank you. But yeah, it's been fun to have you here, and I'm excited to have you on this pod.
Yeah, me too. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I've never been on a podcast before. So
That makes sense. I feel like most people who come on my podcast probably have not.
Okay, good. So it's like okay to be a rookie.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Safe space, literally. But I'm excited. Kyle and I have been friends. It's only really been a few months. When
Yeah.
did I first meet you? Probably at Annie's.
At Annie's, Luke brought me to something.
Maybe like a movie night.
Movie night.
Yes.
So last fall.
Totally.
Halloween time.
I know. Annie's like hostess with the mostest. She
Yeah.
loves to host an event.
I know. I just love looking at her stories and just watching her like making a meal for Mackenzie
I know.
or like doing whatever.
She inspired me. I want to have more people over to my home because she like is always down to just like have a bunch of people at her crib. There's usually a theme. Sometimes it's movies, sometimes it's drinks. You
Yeah.
were there for the cookie decorating party.
Yes.
That was
and bingo
awesome.
night. I was
I
there
missed
for bingo
bingo
night.
night.
That was so much fun. I want a little like
Did you?
yeah, I don't know what you would call it. It's you remember that picture that you showed me that had like the teeth in it?
Yes.
It was like that but with beads.
Okay,
so there was like, it was like
Something kind of less, yeah, no human remains.
no human remains that I know of. It's like metalwork, beads,
Totally.
mahogany frame. Like I just moved, so it's like in my pile of stuff that still needs to be hung on the
I
wall.
love that.
But I always like flip it over. I'm like, what is this? I don't
Yeah.
have like a little photo. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I like want that.
What was
at
even the
Annie's.
theme of bingo night? Because I know that I know she got that bingo set. She got like a vintage bingo set on like Facebook Marketplace or something. But was it
Right.
like everyone bring a prize or did she kind of supply?
I think the theme was Annie went to Goodwill and like she just like
Naturally.
got a bunch of, I think it was her grandparents' bingo set or something
Okay.
like that. I came with my own dauber because I was like expecting,
God,
but it was like not
hilarious.
that. It was like putting it was like putting the chips like
yeah,
on
like
the,
old school.
yeah. I
like
was like, oh,
roll
let me
it
just
around.
like put that back in my bag. Yeah, but
I love that you have your own dauber.
I've been doing bingo for many years. Like in college, we used to go to this bingo hall that was, it was like the seniors of my college town, senior citizens, not
okay,
senior
totally.
students.
That makes sense with bingo.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was BYOB and you could still smoke indoors. And
Oh my God.
yeah, and they had slot
That's
machines
Texas
too.
for you.
But like, I don't think you can gamble in Texas.
Really?
But like they had, I don't know if they were just like for fun and like you couldn't actually bet money. But like, yeah, it was
Interesting.
trippy. And then they had
I didn't
this-
know you couldn't get. Texas seems like maybe they'd sort of love gambling.
There's like this one place in Texas that you can gamble, but it's literally like a raft in the ocean, and
Oh.
it's like not considered the state
Like
of Texas.
Texas.
It's like international water or something.
Oh my God,
like
that's
that.
fascinating.
Isn't that crazy? And so you can like gamble there.
I
Because,
guess
like,
if I think about like casinos in Wisconsin,
right,
they're all on like native lands.
so you can gamble
So
in
I
Wisconsin.
think that's like the reason though. Yeah, but it's like
oh,
they're all on like Native American property.
I don't think Texas would even recognize native land, even if it were supposed to be
Sure.
recognized. Like we already do the bare minimum for our native communities, and like I
Totally.
don't think Texas would even do that.
That adds up.
You know, but like I would gamble. Like I'd be like $20. Like, is
Totally.
it gambling if you're like $20 if you can do a backflip off of the diving board?
I think that is betting. So I think that
Right?
counts.
So
You've gambled.
I've gambled in the state. Don't report me for that.
You're gonna get arrested.
But yeah, I would go to this bingo hall and they had like a great concession stand. They would always have elote in a cup.
Oh fuck yeah.
And I would eat like 3 of them. And we would like
Delicious.
BYOB. I don't even know what I was drinking in college. Probably a Four Loko. I'm pretty sure I brought a Four Loko to this place.
I mean, that's a phase.
Yeah, it was a phase. And like
everyone goes through it.
for context, the bingo that I go play now in Chicago, 3 games at a time. This one,
Oh my God.
18 games at a time. So they would call
Whoa.
one number and you were like bang, 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 like you had to go crazy with it, and I could
So
never
of course
keep
you
up.
had to have your own.
So I had to have my own dauber.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friends and I would like do makeup with the daubers. Like I remember there was this one night we were like painting on each other, and like we had like did the pink one for blush and like the green one for eyeshadow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, came prepared with my own dauber, didn't need it.
That'll
Still won that
happen.
Goodwill painting with the beads in it.
I feel like she needs to do another one of those soon.
Definitely. I love a theme, so
I know. I love a theme too, and I'm glad that it's so funny. For me, moving to Chicago was like very much moving to a big city. You stay younger, longer, like whatever. Like, and everyone I've met here is like down to do themed parties, themed events.
Right.
Like, I sort of love that.
what's the best themed event that you've ever been to?
That is a great question. Well, we definitely threw a lot of themed parties in college.
As one does.
You kind of have no choice.
Everything is themed in college already, right? Like, did you have like themed date parties and like crush parties or whatever you might call them?
Well, so I wasn't like super in that scene, but those definitely existed.
Right.
Because for us, I feel like a lot of that stuff happened at like the frats and sororities, which, yeah, I sort of agree. But no shame if you're in that culture.
Right. No, not at all. Not at all.
Maybe like a smidge. Did lose a couple good friends to the sororities. That'll happen. For me, a successful theme is anything where I can wear a wig. Because I sort of love being able to put on a wig.
Yes. Oh
And
my
just
gosh, I love
transform into
wigs.
a completely different person.
Have you ever been to, remind me that I want to tell you about my favorite themes party, but have you ever been to Beatniks?
On the river or whatever?
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
the restaurant. That's
Okay.
Beatnik. Beatniks is a like costume store.
No.
It's on Halstead. But anyway, in the back they have this big room that's just wigs, but they all have a name. So they're all on the head. And so
God.
you're like, if you want to, you're like, can I try on the Moira? Or like,
Wait, fun.
I'll get the Moira and the Jessica
That's
and the Jeanette.
fun.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I don't even remember the name of the one I got, but I look like Andy Warhol when I wear it, and it's really hot.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I know, I love a wig. I think too, for me, I've had short hair for probably like maybe like 2-3 years now, which I mean, even prior to that I had a bob, so like you can squeeze it.
A bob.
I did. I had a bob for a while.
I love that.
I had a bob since I was probably like a senior in high school.
Whoa, I need to see pictures of this. I'm sad that we haven't been friends for longer
I
than
know.
like, I guess 7-8 months now.
Right. We have a lifetime ahead of us.
We do. We sure do.
I'm kind of obsessed with you, which is why you're here.
I'm kind of obsessed with you too.
Perfect. This is gonna work out great. Yeah, but yeah, I had like a bob for a really long time. When I had really long hair, I didn't take good care of it. I was like, I mean, I grew up in the era of like you straighten your hair every fucking day. So
Right. Did
it
you ever
was,
do
like,
the crimping?
Fried for sure, crimped
Yeah,
my
yeah,
hair.
yeah.
Yeah. And I also have probably been getting my hair dyed since I was like maybe a 7th grader.
Is your hair dyed right now?
So it's not.
Oh,
This
okay. I
is
was
the
like-
first time in my life that I haven't colored my hair. I haven't had a single appointment since moving to Chicago.
Whoa.
Of any kind. I guess I just
Whoa.
went to the doctor recently because I was like, I probably should do that. Make use my health insurance. But
Dentist? Your neighbor has recommendations.
yeah, she does. I actually do have a dentist appointment coming up on the 1st.
Oh, June?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
like
right before
literally
James'
really
birthday.
soon. Yeah. Because I kind of was like, it's time to maybe schedule a few things. But yeah, I do the front and James does the back of my hair.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
How long have you been half and halfing your hair like that?
So I love my hairstylist in Madison. I've been seeing her since 7th grade. Like and she was my mom's hairstylist too. Her name is Megan. Megan, if you're listening,
Love
she's
you.
the best. And she was the one who was like, you should chop all your hair off. And I like refused her for a long time. And then I was like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And when I first cut it, it was like a little bit different, but I would like give myself haircuts in between seeing her because when you cut, I mean, I'm sure you know, when you have short hair, oh my
Right.
God, it grows so fast.
Right. Especially when because it's much easier to notice changes in
Like,
in short hair
so
already.
much.
Yeah, yeah.
So then all of a sudden it's like longer than I want, but I'm lazy and I didn't schedule anything. So I like bought this feathered razor that I could kind of like, it's essentially one like blade with like these like spokes in it.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it like the one they like always do one in my hair that texturizes my hair, and they
Probably.
and they just like chop it, and then it like freaks me out, and they're like, no, it only like takes
it only
out
takes out
every
some.
other hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have one of those, and I initially bought it just to like kind of do bang maintenance. But then I kind of just started going in on my hair, and I work well, I work in marketing, but all the brands I work for are in like the salon professional space.
Okay, work.
So I feel like I pretend I'm a hairstylist a lot. So I have the confidence of one, regardless of, the skill.
Your hair looks fucking amazing. Am I allowed to say
Thanks.
fuck on
Oh my
here?
God, yeah.
Okay, good.
Explicit,
Your hair looks fucking
podcast.
amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I literally have to mark, it's actually sort of crazy. I have to mark every single episode as explicit. But I sort of love swearing, so.
Me too. I was like
I think they're very useful
not swearing
words.
in the car ride
Were
here.
you?
Yeah, I was. I really was. Because I have
I'm terrible.
such a potty mouth.
Me too.
I blame my parents because they.
I know my mom swears big time.
Yeah, and it's like I was like, Kyle, don't say fuck, don't say shit, like, don't do all this stuff that you normally do. So thank God that we can just get
a
the
swear friendly
rating.
pod. I know. I think it's funny. I think it does. I think it does limit the audience that I can reach.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But are like 12-year-olds even pessimists yet?
Right. They don't know any better.
They don't. Yeah, exactly.
And once they learn their first swear word, they'll know where to come.
When did you learn your first swear word?
I don't know when I learned my first swear word. That's a great question. You're good at this and you should be on my podcast all the time.
4 minutes in and I'm already invited back.
Yeah.
Wow.
I sort of love when people ask me questions back. It's just nice. But yeah, I don't know when I learned my first swear word, but I do know when I said my first swear word out loud to my parents and I was like, fuck this. I was not supposed to say that because we were going for a walk, just like an after dinner. Like my parents were like, let's head outside. It was like kind of a day similar to this.
Sure. A lovely day.
A beautiful day.
Yeah.
Perfect day for an evening stroll. And I was going for a walk with my parents and I don't know why it came out of my mouth, but I was commenting on my socks and I was like, these big ass socks. And it literally just came out of my mouth and my dad was like,
you said big ass socks
as
your first time
socks.
swearing. Yeah. That's so funny.
And I don't know why I said it. I like literally have no idea. It just kind of slipped out. And as soon as I said it, I was like, oops. And my dad was like, what? And my dad doesn't swear very often. Like,
yeah.
I would say he's gotten a much bigger potty mouth now that like my mom and I mean, quite literally, it's every other word for the two of us.
Sure.
Like,
as it should be.
Yeah. Which I've heard is lazy, but I disagree. I think that those are useful words for expressing how you feel.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing: they're so versatile sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many ways that you can use some of these words.
100%.
I don't want to inundate the podcast yet. I want them to come out naturally.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like censor myself for right now.
Totally.
But I do remember the first time that I ever swore. Well, I actually don't remember it, but my parents tell the story all the time because they love it. But I was with my dad's parents who bicker like crazy. Rest in peace to both of them. Love them so much. This is the same grandma that locked me in the car with bees accidentally one time.
Oh my God.
We'll get there.
Multiple bees?
Multiple bees. But she called my grandpa a fucking asshole while they were like driving one time. And then I was with my mom's parents who are a little less robust than than Lucy was.
Yeah.
And I called my grandpa that. Just like in the backseat of the car, I was like, "You're an effing a-hole."
Wait,
And
your other grandpa?
My other grandpa. So I learned it from one set of grandparents.
Totally.
Said it to another set of grandparents.
Because you're like, all grandpas are fucking assholes.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Proved to be true. Love him too. But yeah, and so I like,
That's crazy.
they put soap in my mouth.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's old school.
Yeah, I know. Like, what's that movie where they like put the bar of soap in the kid's mouth? What is that?
I feel like there are plenty.
Yeah. Christmas Story. It was a Christmas story. Yes.
I knew it was a holiday.
But no, not a bar of soap. It was literally like dial pump soap, like on my
Oh my God,
tongue.
like liquid soap.
Like literally liquid
Like they're
soap.
like,
Yeah, they're like,
open the fuck up.
yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I was like scared to swear. I remember it, like I was scared to say bad words up even until like 6th and 7th grade. That's when like, you know, your friends start like dropping them a little more casually.
Totally.
They would make me uncomfortable. Like if somebody said fuck at a sleepover, like I would want to go home.
Oh,
I know.
that's sort of sweet.
So yeah, but now I don't know what happened. Like
Totally.
it was like sometime in high school. All of a sudden, I was like, I'm a rebel now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Love these words.
Love these words.
I know.
They sound so good coming out of my mouth, too.
Truly.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. Yeah, I don't know when I started swearing a ton. I feel like I've always had like my friend group definitely swears a lot. I think I have one of the worst potty mouths, for better or for worse. It just kind of comes out. That's why I have this awesome platform to share with everyone.
Yeah.
But
You heard it here, folks.
literally. But yeah, I mean, it's funny too because even my mom, I don't think she swore as much. It was like both of us kind of like came up in our swearing journeys together. Like I feel like she probably stopped because she had a kid. And then when
Right.
I started openly swearing, she was like, okay, well, now we're just free to do whatever we want.
See, that's a whole, like swearing in front of my parents. Like
Yeah.
that took me some time. I think I just did that for the first time like last Thanksgiving.
No fucking way.
Yeah. Yes, fucking
That's
way.
crazy.
I know, right? Well, actually, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I remember the first time I was like trying to slip it into conversation. I was like,
I sort of love the idea of like premeditating. on
yeah,
it.
premeditated.
Yeah.
I forget. It was like something my sister did, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And like looked at my parents to see their reaction.
Oh my God, that's
I know,
hilarious.
I know. And then they were like, they didn't
Yeah.
care because I'm like 22 at the time. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, so
That's
anyway.
like, yeah, 50% of the words that we use.
right.
I know. I actually swear in front of James's parents a lot. And sometimes I'm like, maybe that's not copacetic and I shouldn't be doing that. They definitely don't swear as much as my family does. But his siblings do. So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm just kind of,
As long as somebody in the family
Yeah.
does, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be the one that does it the most.
I know. And like sometimes I might be.
Yeah. Same here. Same here.
It is kind of funny that like culture too, because even at work, like I swear a lot, which sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like,
yeah.
that's not, and I don't do it in front of like clients. Obviously, I'm not insane.
Right. You have boundaries.
I have boundaries. I have limits. But yeah, I'm definitely like I'm a manager of people, which still kind of blows my mind sometimes.
Okay, work.
Yeah. And like I swear a lot in front of them, and I'm like, maybe you're not supposed to do that. I don't really know the rules.
You know, like, I'm also a manager of people, and also, I mean, I'm not in marketing, but
Yeah.
like,
Managing people is crazy.
yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like it's sort of nuts to be doing it. It gives me imposter syndrome
I know,
all
I'm
the
like,
time.
am I old enough to be doing this?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, my manager swears all the time. Well, in Texas, we call it cussing.
Totally.
He cusses in front of us.
I like literally, if I said the word cuss like in a sentence, I don't think it would come out right.
It's weird. Yeah, like, it reminds me of like a dessert, like custard. I'm like,
Totally.
cuss. Who's cussing over here?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, but like my manager like swears in front of me, and then I was like, I do it all the time now. Now
Yeah.
at work, I don't give a shit. Like I say
know.
whatever I want.
No rules.
Yeah, but a client call, I'm like, comb my hair,
Totally.
like shove the mullet back so it looks like I'm just like actually clean cut, and then
Yeah.
you know.
Kind of same.
Yeah, you just gotta you like center yourself perfectly.
100%.
I had a coworker today who I thought he was in the office, and I was like, try hard. Because I like saw the office background, but no, he took a picture of our office like with our other like teammates in the back.
No way.
He's so funny, yeah, and like.
And that's
I was
like his Zoom background?
Yeah, and because like the other coworker that's in the background of this Zoom photo is on this call as well, and I'm like
somewhere
"Damn,
else."
he's like not been moving a lot. And then I was like in the chat, I was like, wait, is that like a
crazy.
picture? Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I'm at home. Genius.
That's also a hilarious thing to do as kind of a bit without acknowledging it. Like to just
Right.
kind of let it slide and see who notices.
Sometimes I do stuff like that just to see if people will notice. Like
Yeah.
I'll wear like a funny hat. Do you remember Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place?
Oh, duh.
Yeah, so I would like wear like a weird outfit. Like I have
She loved a lot of like fruit themes.
Right.
She had, yeah.
I have this one necklace that's just a piece. It's like a fried chicken drumstick
my
on like a gold chain. And my friend Haley got it for me. Love you, Haley.
Incredible.
And I'll just like wear it on calls sometimes and like see if my CEO will notice.
That's
or-
hilarious.
Yeah.
I should start doing things like that.
Yeah, just like subtly change one thing here or there.
Mine is more like I leave my camera off and see who notices. And then when I get called out, I have to turn it on. We're not supposed to be camera off.
Yeah, we have a camera on culture
Yeah.
as well. And I'm like, you want to see me busted at 8 a.m.?
I know.
Okay.
It's so funny too because I'm very much the same way where like I'm going to look like shit up until my client call. And then you can guarantee I'm taking a 30-minute break before that and putting some makeup on.
Right.
For sure. Because, yeah, I'm not going to look like that on this call. But then, like, every morning I'm getting on Zoom and I'm like, hey. And I was like, ew. Ick.
If you see me in like a champion sweatshirt, like a crew neck, and my glasses are still on, you can best believe I just rolled out of bed. I don't know
if I know you wore glasses.
I do. I was just joking about this the other day because I was talking about how I can't like recognize things. Who was I? I don't remember. I was talking about this too, but they were like, do you have like trouble seeing? And I was like, well, number one, yes. But number two, like,
That's kind of the whole point.
Yeah. But like, I also am just not like it was because I was trying to meet up with friends and I was like in a crowd and I was like, this is overwhelming. I can't figure out where you are.
So everyone just kind of looks like blobs.
Yeah. But I realized playing volleyball the other night that like, I think I have night blindness.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I probably shouldn't be driving at night either, but.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. But I think it's extending in the daytime recently because maybe I just Maybe I need a new prescription. Similar to you, lived here for a couple years, haven't had that many appointments.
Yeah.
You know?
I sort of was like loving the no appointment lifestyle for a sec. I need a dentist more than anything. I have a bunch of fake teeth, so I
really
need to, yeah.
They all look so real.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have a really good prosthodontist. She's crazy, but she's nice.
Say that word again. Job.
Prosthodontist, like fake tooth doctor.
Prosthodontist.
Yeah, sort of sounds like a dinosaur.
Yeah, it does. It really does. That's maybe what I'll name my cat.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's a great cat name. Yeah, I have had like horrible teeth problems throughout my life. So we've got 4 fake ones riding in here.
Was it like an accident that led to that, or was it just
no?
Like
I sort
randomly
of just
one by one?
The worst orthodontist of all time.
Sounds like it.
I was in braces for 8 years.
Shut the fuck up.
Literally 8 years. It was horrible. I was like the girl
in college. Have braces even been invented for 8 years?
Exactly.
Like what?
I might as well have been the first and last patient.
Right.
And
You're the blueprint.
Straight up, it was horrible. I actually had them for so long, and then one day. And I was still bringing my mom to my appointments. I was like the girl in college with braces. It was like an actual nightmare.
Oh.
Which I promise you, there are still people who are like, yeah, Sam from my floor, the girl with braces. Ick, that sucks for me.
The pretty girl with braces.
Maybe. But I had braces. Well, so basically what happened to me, long story short, is like I had a crossbite. So like on one side I had an overbite and on the other side I had an underbite. And
holy shit, how does that work?
Exactly.
It's like one side of your mouth you could like eat a steak and the other side you could like split carrots.
Literally. Yeah, I'm kind of like dividing my food up. Yeah, perfectly when it gets in my mouth. And I had that and I had like a gap, which like whatever, that's easily fixable.
Love a gap.
I sort of wish I would have kept it. But so I had that. Went to see an orthodontist. He was like, yeah, you're for sure going to need braces. I was in middle school.
Okay.
And I got braces, but at that time, everyone had them. It was like cool. So I was totally fine with it. He said I'd probably be in them for like maybe a year to a year and a half.
Boy, didn't he lie, as I just
giant
found out.
Send-off, yeah. And so, and then I like had braces, whatever. We were still in them by the time I got to high school. And then I remember freshman year, both of my eye teeth, canine, whatever you want to call them.
Eye teeth?
Yeah.
I've never
incisors.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a prosthodontist was. There's a lot I don't know about teeth.
Unfortunately, I know tons. For better or for worse. And so I lost my eye tooth. Well, I only had baby eye teeth. Like there were basically no adults growing in. So I had these tiny little eye teeth that were still in there. At some point, like they were like a little loose, but there was nothing to like fully push them out.
Okay.
And they were still getting the job done, but they were small as fuck. And so it was like...
They were still chomping.
They were. And I like went in. The plan was for me to probably like get implants at some point after I was out of braces. Okay. And I remember going into the dentist or like oral surgeon or something, and she pulled my baby tooth out. And then she like comes back in the room. The plan was like to get both of them out, but she comes back in and she's like, so I don't know why we just did that. Because you have to be 16 to 18. What are you in high school? Like 14?
Yeah.
She's like, you have to be 16 to 18 to get implants, and you have to be out of braces for at least a year. Your teeth have to be settled. Which, like, girl, you see the braces on my mouth as we speak. Why did you just pull it? And she was like, so I'm going to leave the other one in. I was like, great. Awesome.
Question. How did they pull out a tooth that was in braces? Did they just, like, unhook that one?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So then I had a gap. I literally had no tooth for, I think, about 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
Just not a tooth.
Yeah.
And like my braces like covered it. Like there was like wire, I
Yeah.
guess. And it was a small space. But yeah, that sucked. And then I got to high school. By the end of freshman year, I was so over having braces. I like called my mom and I was like, I just want to get these off. I want them off. I will do anything. I want like, we can do Invisalign. I'll do whatever. So my mom and I like marched into the fucking orthodontist and we're like, we're done with this. Like, get these off my daughter's teeth.
And you're like, yeah,
Literally.
in the back.
I'm like fucking 20 years old. Like, ew, terrible. And I guess I was probably like 18, 19, but regardless. And they took the braces off, which was very nice of them. Agreed to do like an Invisalign thing. I think I still had back braces.
Like Hannah Montana did.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which
Remember
was
that?
cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Maybe not when I was 18 anymore, but it was something. And then they gave me like a flipper, basically it was like a fake tooth in a retainer.
Oh, yeah.
So when I had the retainer
about.
in, it looked like I had all of the teeth. I had to I only wore, this is actually sort of depressing, but I only wore shirts with like a pocket right here so I could like
Put your retainer case in. Been
yeah,
there.
sneak it right in there. There was also one spring break where I was wearing similar to this, like a romper situation, and then I had that shirt on.
You look cute as fuck, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I had like popped my retainer out, but then obviously I had to take the shirt off to use the restroom. I was going to the bathroom. You have to get like essentially fully undressed in order to do that. Stood back up, stepped on my tooth. Stepped on it.
I've never heard
Fully
that term. I
broke
stepped
it.
on my tooth.
Yeah. I don't think it happens to very
It
many
doesn't
people.
happen to a lot of people.
So that sort of sucked. And then I think I like finally got my fake teeth.
Do you think that's what your landlord used for that
Ick!
art piece?
Sick. That'd be so gross. I actually think my mom's kind of just as fucked up as my landlord because she does still have a lot of my teeth.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about how that's a bit of a red flag, maybe orange.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's quite red.
Which she was like, well, I'm the tooth fairy and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them.
True. Can you believe we believed that shit?
I know.
Sorry. I know that there's put the explicit warning and put like the magical creature warning on this one too. But like that had me fucked up when I learned that. I learned about the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Santa, fucking. I thought ogres were real too.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I sure did.
Shrek?
Like Shrek. Because
Totally.
like why would I not think that
I guess.
they're real, right? I learned all on the same day. I'll never forget
the
it.
Worst day.
I was standing in the corner of my kitchen right by the Lazy
the day
Susan.
your childhood ended. Mm-hmm. The Lazy Susan.
The Lazy Susan. I wanted to crawl in that motherfucker
Totally.
and like my world was over.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Yeah, because I'm a believer of a lot of things.
I sort of believed in Santa for a really long time. And I think I already knew that he wasn't real, but I like kind of refused to let go.
Yeah, it's like, but like, could he be? Like, like
Right.
I know you're telling me he's not, but like there's something,
Maybe
there's
he
something
is.
there. Maybe he is, right? There's a lot of movies about him. Why would
so
they make
many.
so many movies about him?
Yeah, why is he in all of our cinema? That's so true. I know. And
Right.
like, I might not have a chimney, but he's getting in here somehow.
Yeah, how would Santa get in here?
Yeah.
Through
I sort of love to know.
The cat door.
Yeah. He's sort of a skinny legend like that.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I definitely, I remember like being like, yeah, Easter bunny, a giant bunny dropping off eggs.
That one was a stretch.
I was like, that's not real.
Yeah.
I think Tooth Fairy, I was like, for sure. Someone is giving, my mom also she was giving me $20 bills. And I was like, that's awesome.
Well, I grew up in a poor family. We were getting like a Papa John's coupon or like.
Sometimes that's worth just as much.
I think one time I got a honey bun under my pillow.
Oh my God, you were getting like items.
Yeah, like from the gas station.
I feel like you would squish a honey bun so fast.
I could. Okay, well, it was because it wasn't a honey bun. It was like, well, it was a honey bun. I don't know what it was, but like,
were you like,
the reason that I lost the tooth was because there is like these pastries. I don't even know what they're called, but it's kind of like a honey bun, but it's not iced. And it's like a ovular.
I can picture it.
Yeah, and my mom, she's like poke holes in it and fill it with molasses.
Oh shit!
Did you eat molasses as a kid?
We had like molasses cookies. And
yeah,
stuff.
but did you eat it raw?
No.
Like the liquid form. We
Absolutely
did, and I
not.
don't really know why. But yeah. And
Interesting.
I remember like biting into this bitch and like tooth gone.
There it
like
goes.
literally like I think the tooth broke in half.
Whoa.
Because I I was so hungry, clearly. Did you see me eat dinner earlier? Like, that's how I was. Yeah.
You're
I
a
was
swimmer, you have an
hungry.
excuse.
I'm a swimmer that I have an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was kind of like a bit that my mom like got a honey bun.
she's cracking
and,
jokes.
My mom, she's funny. She thinks she's Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh my God,
she kind of
hilarious.
is, but she's really funny. I get my humor from her. Do you think I'm funny?
I think you're hilarious.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then it comes from my mom.
In that case.
In that case, I'm gonna pass the compliment to her tonight.
That's sweet.
I'm gonna call her on the way home and tell her I was on a podcast tonight. She's gonna be so proud of me.
Do you think she'll listen?
She'll probably listen? Yeah. I really try to get her on. Like, I don't know if she consumes a lot of media, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Like, for Mother's Day last year, I bought her a Kindle and I preloaded a lot of books onto it.
You're sweet.
But I like made her an account, like a Kindle account, and I like opened it up and I was like, 14% on one of these books. All the other ones are 0.
Totally.
So like, I don't know if she's like reading, and like, I made her a playlist one year. Not sure if it got listened to.
Yeah.
She's doing other things. She's like a working woman. So yeah.
Well, my mom is kind of the same. My mom is, unfortunately, the media she consumes is like a Facebook, and it's kind of like log off women.
My mom does love that.
Dangerous
She
place.
loves a Facebook.
Yeah.
It is a dangerous
It
place.
is. And my mom's constantly resharing, like, I don't know if this is just a Madison thing, but she's constantly resharing lost pets.
Just a Madison thing.
It's like all the time these pets are getting lost, and my mom like is reposting them on her Facebook as if like her like I don't even know 100 Facebook friends are gonna know who like Jerry the cat is from like Janesville, Wisconsin. Like no. So yeah, that's sort of, she loves doing that. I think she can't help it. She sees it and she's like, the least I could do is repost.
That's really thoughtful that she would like go the extra mile to do that, because she knows that it's not reaching a large audience. You know?
Yeah.
But like maybe Jerry the cat's mom or dad is
true.
one of your mom's Facebook friends.
True.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, the world is small. But yeah, I'm at this point, it has to be like getting fed into her algorithm, because that shit's crazy. Like, they're like, we know Chris will share it.
I remember one time I muted my grandma on Facebook.
Oh, my grandma's
muted.
muted.
I love her.
Yeah,
I do.
same.
But like there was
I
like,
shouldn't see her political opinions, or I might not love her as much, you know?
Yeah,
so I think this is better for both of us.
Totally. Thankfully, my grandma's opinions are like on par with a progressive thinking person.
Oh, that's nice.
But she found this
say the
Facebook
same.
page that she just like eats the fuck up. It was like Mommy Needs Vodka or something like that. And it's just like the very like...
That's
it's
giving
just,
like live, laugh, love.
Yes,
yeah.
it's very that. It was very much like jokes about like, I need another glass of wine, or like, you know, that kind of thing. And I swear she would post, I think I counted one time, it was like 24 shares in a single day.
Oh my God, whoa.
I remember trying to find a picture that she tagged me in from like 3 days prior graduation, and I was just like thumb getting lock thumb. Is that a
Totally.
term? I was
It is
getting
now.
lock thumb from like trying to scroll and find this thing because she had shared so much.
See, my grandma does the same, but it's with like problematic priests.
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, I don't want to see that.
No, we don't.
So block.
So block.
Yeah.
I know.
Literally.
I need to like unblock. Oh, no, I didn't block her. I just muted her.
Yeah.
Muting is a great feature.
Oh my God, it's great. They should have invented that the day Facebook arose to be.
Truly. I mute people all the time.
Because, like, sure, we can be friends on the surface, but I don't need to see what you have to say.
Right. Yeah. It's like and it's like sometimes it's a little too far to delete the friend.
I know.
But like, you have no idea if I muted you.
Right.
You're just like not getting likes from me.
I'm not trying to sever the relationship with my grandma.
No.
I just...
There's no need
don't
to.
wanna fucking
You
see
just
that.
don't want to see that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
I know, my grandparents just recently moved into like an old folks home, which it's more like a retirement community. It's not really assisted living, but I think they could graduate into that if they needed it. But they've
Sure.
been living in the same house that my father grew up in.
Whoa.
So they were like still... they have had to have been there for at least like 50, 60 years. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. I'm like 5 minutes in a space and I'm like,
I know. What's
should I
next?
rearrange it?
Yeah, literally same. Hence me checking Domu every day.
Yeah. But like, don't get rid of this space, because if you move out of here, I want to move in here.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, the best part about checking Domu every day is I never see anything better than my apartment.
True.
So it's
You're
very
like,
validating.
You're like, I won. Close this app. Like, I can sleep well tonight.
Literally.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what it is about apartment hunting. It's just fun.
It's fun.
Even if I'm not, it's more fun if I'm not looking.
Right. That's like, I feel that way with Marketplace. I'm like, this would, like, I'm so happy that somebody's going to get this someday. Like, I don't need it, but love, you know?
I go in and out of waves with Marketplace, but sometimes it's like actually dangerous. Where for a hot second, it was the first app I checked when I woke up in the morning. And I was like,
sorry, I just did that right into the mic. Like
that's allowed.
Okay.
Spirit friendly mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that's kind of fucked up. I also don't know, who have I turned into? Like, that's like, my mom's not even doing that shit.
Yeah.
Why am I doing that?
That's a reach.
It was messed up.
Recently, my app that I've been waking up and opening up is this game called like Snaker.
Dude, I love this game.
It's literally just a game where you like have a snake and you just have to like go around and eat dots, and then you have to like you can like circle things with like your snake body, and then you get bigger and it kills the enemies.
I love a phone game, so I'm gonna have to download that.
Each round is like 30 minutes long.
Oh,
because like
so
I last a while. But it's like I woke up this morning, like I said, in the champion sweater and my glasses. I woke up in time, but I played Snaker for 30 minutes until I like finally died, and I was like, oh my god, I have a call right now, like.
That's
so I need
crazy.
to stop. It's going to last for like a week. I just downloaded it like 3 days ago. But I have woken up every morning the last 3 days and like
that's awesome.
Immediately opened that app.
That's so funny. I definitely love a phone game. The one that I've played the longest. Have you ever played Bricks and Balls?
Have I played Bricks and Balls? I love that game.
Same. I was like kind of obsessed with it. And in college, there was this year, it was my super senior year, and I had an extra semester of school. And James was already done with college and like working a full-time job.
King.
So we had kind of talked about like, should I move in with you? And I was like, I think I'll live with people who are still going to school for now. So I lived with my friend Adam, Mitchell, and Zoe, and it was very fun. It was the four of us. And I smoke weed, but I don't smoke like a ton of weed.
Sure.
They all smoke a bunch of weed. I have never been more high than I was that year. And all we would do is get home, smoke weed, and play Bricks and Balls.
Oh.
It was all we did. It was
sounds
crazy.
amazing.
It was so crazy. And little did I know, actually semi-recently, James told me that I smelled like blunts that whole year. And I was like, ew.
You were smoking blunts?
We were smoking blunts.
I love that.
Yeah.
I went through a blunt smoking phase.
You have been through some phases.
I've been through some phases. Blunt smoking was one of them. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
It would last like a year for me. I would say, though, it was so not... If you saw me in class...
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'd be like, oh, that girl smokes blunts, except for apparently I smelled that way. So I feel like that was like so off brand for me. And people must have been so confused. And he was like, yeah, no, it was like you smelled like blunts. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Did you have like a particular flavor? Like mine was white grape. Loved a white grape.
Okay.
Blunt.
See, I feel like, I mean, that's a good question. They always got like white owls and like made.
Yeah.
Is that?
That's the one. Yeah. Wow, we're twins.
Crazy.
Okay, twin.
Literally.
That's so funny.
Last time that my friend Adam was visiting Madison, he actually lives in Dallas now.
Oh, home? Not home. Home state.
He likes it, sort of. I think Austin's arguably a lot cooler.
Yeah.
And Dallas, I also, when I went to visit him, I was like, damn, you have to get on a highway to go anywhere.
Yeah. If you don't have a car, like, you're fucked.
Yeah. But he was visiting, and he like sent me on the mission to like pick up the white owls. So I like had to go to a gas station, and I'm literally reading an order off of my phone, and like this wonderful man behind the like bulletproof glass.
I know you're like shaking, like
I didn't fit in, and nobody in there. There was like this gorgeous, beautiful, huge man behind me who, as soon as I read this off my phone, the guy was like, what? And the guy behind me bursts out laughing. I repeat my order. I was so embarrassed.
Your order.
Literally my order. I was like, can I have 2 Swisher Sweets and a couple of white owls, please? Like, literally ick. But yeah, so funny.
That is hilarious.
It was like so funny. And I was like, Adam, I'm never doing this for you again.
So do you not smoke blunts anymore?
I don't.
I haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, I haven't. Every time Adam comes around, I feel like I have blunts. But even, yeah, I would say, like, James loves a bong rip, which, like, fucks me up. If I try to smoke out of the bong, I have to go to sleep. I have to go to bed.
Yeah, I took a hit from a bong the other night, and I was leaving my friend's apartment, and then I walked out without my shoes, and she was like, hey, like, put your shoes on. I was like literally in the hallway without my shoes on. I was like, fuck. And then I go down the elevator, come back, realize I forgot my bike helmet. So I like went back up, got my bike helmet, left without my bike. I just started walking, wearing my bike helmet. I was like, I can't ride this anyway. Like, I'm gonna have to walk it home.
Yeah.
But like,
That's
ridiculous.
Hilarious.
Ridiculous.
I sort of love the idea of you just kind of walking on the street with your bike helmet on.
I'm barefoot right now. I like literally had dinner like up on your roof barefoot. So I was like,
well, I sort of was going to take my shoes off too, but I haven't painted my toenails. So.
Oh, yeah. I was with a boy last night, and I was like, I should probably like clean my feet a little bit.
Totally. There was some maintenance involved.
There was some maintenance involved. But yeah, like I've been doing this thing where I don't wear socks.
Yeah, I heard that it's Barefoot Summer, Barefoot-Boy Summer.
It's Barefoot-Boy Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, somebody else told me that too.
So,
and so I was talking to the same boy. I saw him again this afternoon, and he was like, do your feet stink? I was like, I don't think so. Like,
you tell me.
Yeah, and I smelled that, and I was like, no, they don't stink. Like,
Yeah.
I can be barefoot and be fine, you know?
I used to, as a kid, I went everywhere barefoot. It was awesome. And
Yeah.
I called them like my summer feet, where like nothing hurt me anymore.
They're like calloused over.
Yeah.
It's like guitar finger, but like for your
Yes.
feet. Yeah, no, I get
And
that.
I don't get that anymore. I need to like, you have to kind of be purposeful about it.
Yeah, I remember like,
Because otherwise, the first couple times that you are wearing nothing on your feet and you're outside, everything you step on, you're like, ow, fuck.
like when you get a pedicure and you go to the beach and you're like, I
Yes.
cannot walk in the sand right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
I actually really don't. I have extremely ticklish feet, and I can't. When they scrub, I literally can't.
No, in the same way, I'm like,
I know.
like getting my feet. Yeah. I know, I get the same way. I'm very ticklish. Like, I can tickle myself. Like, I know you're not
same.
able to like tickle yourself typically, but
Yeah,
like,
that it's supposed to just be like a mind game. Well, guess what? I have it.
no, same. And I'm putting on deodorant, and I'm like,
That's so funny.
yeah, it's bad.
There was actually this fucked up time that I went to go get a pedicure with my old boss. I think I told you about her. She's insane at the cookie party.
Yes. Oh my God, you did tell me about her.
She's fucking nuts.
Do you think she listens to this?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
She actually does have a podcast. If she does, girl, bye. Like,
Girl,
you
bye.
ruined my life. I do think though that she might have been my arch nemesis, and I do think I conquered her. So, kind of all set for the rest of my life.
Right.
I do check up on her every once in a while on her like social medias, and she seems to be doing fine, which is sort of like against my wishes, but but her and I went to get a pedicure one time. She took me, which was nice. And I like honestly don't get pedicures very often for that reason. Like I actually am so ticklish I almost can't stand it. But I was trying to play it cool. And I think that the man who was doing my pedicure he loved how much I hated it.
He was like fucking with you.
Yeah. And he was like, he also may have had I don't know. He may have had a foot fetish. He was like turned on by the experience, which I was sort of like, this is so inappropriate because I'm with my boss.
Yeah, what?
It's like this whole thing sort of sucks, but it was crazy. And I was like, yeah, I'm never getting a pedicure again. Haven't. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a foot story too. It's a little bit different than a pedicure. So when I first moved to Chicago, poor. Like I was my first job. I was a teacher, but I
didn't know that.
Yeah, short lived. Well, 2.5 years. Taught through the pandemic.
I have a lot of friends who have only lasted around that same amount of time.
Yeah, and it was like I didn't start. I mean, I graduated and moved here in 2019, and then I had the whole summer to like do nothing. I got like a part-time job working at Grubhub, like on their operations team. But I was like, gotta make some money, right? And so I tweeted this photo of okay, it was like a slab of ground beef shaped into a foot with like onion toenails, right?
Totally.
Because I just like have a shit posting account and that's what I do, right? And I was like selling feet pics, hit me up, blah, blah, blah. And so I thought it was hilarious. Like I still think it's funny because I'm one of the funniest people I know. And so I post this picture. Somebody slides into my DMs. Username is like some weird string of letters and then a string of numbers. Like
course.
definitely very, very undercover like DL account.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey man, not to be weird, but like, would you actually be interested in selling feet pics? And I was like, literally like cartoon, like money, dollar signs, like in my eyes. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, totally.
And so I like go home. I remember I was like wearing a pair of jeans laying on my bed when I was like reading this DM. And
I have to know, did they have a way of seeing your feet?
no, that's part of the story.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it all went downhill, actually. So
Totally.
all they saw was the ground beef slab.
There's no way they thought that was an actual foot.
No, it wasn't. It was like
Okay.
clearly not. But it was. I think it was
Yeah.
because I said like I'm selling feet pics.
Yeah.
You know. So we start DMing back and forth, and he's like, you know, not to be weird, but like I would like to do this. What's your rate? And I was like, I've never done something like this before. Like this was
Your
already a
rate?
stretch. Like I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm being so bad. I'm selling a picture of my foot. And so I can't even remember what I said, but I was like, it was like $3 a picture or something. This person was like, no, that's not my normal rate. Like, I can't do that. My normal rate is like this amount of pictures for this amount of money. And I don't remember what the figures were, but I remember that the math came out to be like paying me more per picture than like I had offered.
Oh,
and I was
shit.
like, okay, dumbass, like
Yeah,
let's go.
Totally.
So he was like, can you send me a picture of your feet? Like, just so I know, and I'll tell you like how to pose them or like hold my name in like an index card in your toes or something like that. And so I just remember like hiking on my jeans, like probably to here, and taking a picture of my foot. This person DMs me back and said, no. And I was like, excuse me? And he's like, well, your legs are a little too hairy. Like, do you mind shaving them? I was like, first of all, are my legs that hairy?
No.
No, they're not. Like, they're very normal, like little Italian legs, you know? And this person, like, we like started bickering back and forth, telling me that I was like too hairy. And that was the day that I got told that I was too ugly to sell feet pics.
Damn.
Yeah. So I've never tried
crazy.
it again. Mm-hmm.
I think that there's always something about that, like you said, like the $ piece of
Right.
like the idea that people are out there who are willing to pay for that is crazy, because what does that cost me? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
But at the same time, I feel like it's like, right, like that might take a hit on my self-esteem.
Yeah. I was like, I've never felt worse about myself than like being... 5 minutes ago, I was tweeting a picture of a ground beef, and now I'm like
how the
crying
tables have
in my
turned.
bed. Oh, how the tables have turned. Yeah. So that was my experience. Never tried it again.
Fair.
But I was also like, when I first started teaching, I was making what, like $50,000 a year,
Yeah.
like living in West Loop, which I
Yeah.
already couldn't afford. And I was like, I'll do anything for $25. Well, not anything.
100%.
I would sell feet pics for $25,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Right.
and that's how that started and ended.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, right?
And you never found out like who that person was.
Nope. Sometimes I go back and like just read the DMs and like
Totally.
screenshot them and like send them to people. I'm like, look how fucking crazy this was when this happened.
It's kind of crazy too that someone would have to have a burner account for that. But I guess,
Yeah, like, own it.
yeah.
Like,
just be in the feed.
right. Yeah. I'm like, my feet are in pictures all the time accidentally.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody, like Evan took those pictures of me the other day and like my foot was like to model his clothing. Somebody was like, yo, your feet, like ... And I was like, no, buy the jacket from Evan. Like, this isn't about my feet. This is about his Depop. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I think that's interesting too, because I feel like the culture around that has changed so much. Even in the last couple years, like, I feel like you kind of, like, I do sometimes crop my feet out of pictures.
Right.
And not because, like, I'm expecting someone to pay to actually see them, but it's more like someone's going to make a comment.
Right. And I was like, you didn't have to go there.
No,
You
that's
know,
crazy.
But my
I
feet
didn't
are
see
cute.
that.
So
You do have nice feet.
Thank you. I do. Yeah. My
was
dad's
wrong.
feet. Yeah, he was wrong.
He was wrong.
I still don't. A part of me wants to think that he was like fucking with me, and then it was like somebody that was trolling me.
Okay, interesting.
But the other half of me knows that this was somebody that was actually interested in buying my feet pics and thought that my
Yeah.
legs were too hairy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's hard to be a foot salesman.
It is. It is. Yep. It is. And I learned my lesson, and I'm never going back.
I know. I get laser hair removal, and
Sure.
I like started on kind of, the notable body parts, armpits, like, my bikini area.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm kind of like, I kind of want to be like a dolphin from the neck down, to be honest. So we'll see. It's very expensive, but I'm like, I kind of want to like laser my toes. Like, I just want there to be no hair on me for the rest of my life. We'll see.
I mean, I don't like. I have a little, like Italian mustache, of course, but like I don't like my. First of all, I can't grow like a full beard, but I pluck every individual hair.
No way.
Yeah, and it takes me like hours at a time. And I mean, it used to be like very easy when
Does
we were
that
on
hurt?
lockdown. For a little bit it does.
I guess it's like getting
and
waxed.
then it kind of like numbs out a little bit. Like it becomes kind of monotonous. Like I'll just be sitting there like, and it'll last. I mean, I understand why people get waxed I mean, it's so if I don't do that, I have to shave every 2 days.
Every 2 days? That's
yeah,
crazy.
because I like to be. I don't like any stubble or anything like that. But I did try to get one of those.
Do you feel like it makes it? Because, like, in theory, waxing, like, less hair grows over time.
Sure, it does get thinner.
Yeah.
But I have gotten lazy because the summer's here, and I'm like, do I want to spend 3 hours doing this, or do I want to go, like...
That's a lot of time.
...pool by the lake a little bit? Yeah, exactly. Well, I used to just, like get a little high and do it, and now I'm like, I don't really... I'm just, like, not setting aside the time to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I did try to get an epilator.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's, like, this little machine that has rollers on it, and the rollers... They like pinch together, kind of like tweezers, but it spins really fast. And so the idea is that you just kind of like graze it across surfaces, and it pulls every individual hair. And I went the wrong way, so I went against the way that it was. And they're like sharp little metal, and I like gave myself like a little brush burn on my face.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I was like bleeding everywhere, and like had to go to work. I remember having like a board presentation for a client, and had this big like neck scab. So I was like, not doing that anymore. Returned it, went back to plucking.
Totally.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
The price we pay to look the way that we want to look.
Truly.
Right?
Beauty is pain.
Beauty is pain. And I've always said that.
Literally. I know. For me, it's like I have an incredibly dry skin, like really, really dry.
Sure. Psoriasis?
I have psoriasis.
Same.
On my arms and legs. Like I'm literally covered in eczema bumps all over the place.
Whoa, that's hot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Some people would disagree. And so shaving for me is just like, it's even worse because I feel like I have all this dry skin. It's just like so hard. And then I like to be constantly like, I don't like when my legs have hair because I have to, I put on Eucerin is my like thick ass fucking cream that I use every day.
Yeah.
And I use their richest sort of flavor.
Oh, that's the one that's like...
Oh my God, it's intense.
That's goop. That's some motherfucking goop right there. Yeah.
In the summer, on a humid day, it takes like a good 2 hours for it to even soak into my skin.
I use CeraVe, so like, that's I don't think it's as thick as Eucerin, but like, I get that. Like, I have to like... It needs to dry after the shower for a little while. Yeah.
Like, if I go to the bathroom too soon and then, like, James will try, he's, like, slipping all over the seat. He's like, can you, like, do something about this? Like, it's actually crazy. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. And that's, like, why I like doing laser hair removal because I'm, like, I'm trying to just never have to shave again.
Yeah.
Which is probably a little bit unrealistic. I think some of the hairs on my body are, like, pretty blonde, but...
Do you think there's ever going to be a day, because, like, as medicine... continues to evolve, that we're going to have some sort of product or treatment that it's like,
I know,
one time you do this, you'll never grow hair again.
That sounds awesome.
Right?
I hope.
I know.
Especially because laser hair removal hurts. It hurts so bad.
Does it really? I can only imagine.
I mean, they're essentially just like zapping the shit out of your hair follicles.
Oh,
so.
That sounds like, yeah, that does sound painful.
It like hurts.
I've never been
bad.
zapped like that before.
Yeah.
My sister got electrocuted once. She said it hurt.
Oh,
so
fuck.
I know.
Like in the home?
Snuck into a shed when we were kids.
As you do.
Touched a lamp.
Damn.
And this bitch mummy, like straight up like hit the ground.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's crazy.
She's fine though.
Totally.
Love her.
That's really crazy.
I know. There was some crazy shit that happened in Texas.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I got shot once.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, literally at a birthday party.
Holy shit.
I know. Like this guy's grandpa was trying to shoot a snake, and like the bullet exploded, and I like had to like get them surgically removed. I got hit like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
So with like pieces of the bullet?
Yeah, like inside of a shotgun shell, there's like,
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not keen on guns, never have been, especially in this day and age, but like there's still a piece, if you want to feel it, it's like in my cheek.
I definitely want to feel it.
Right? Do you feel it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bullet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that's just in there?
That one never got removed, yeah.
Just because it wasn't like going to cause you any problems?
So this is a crazy story. So this happened when I was a freshman in high school. Very traumatic. Like,
I mean, yeah.
People are like, "What the fuck?" When I tell them, like,
were you the only person that got hit?
I was the only person. Yeah.
Damn.
I know. Yeah. It was like. Thankfully, it wasn't a malicious act that
Totally.
caused this, but like it was. I mean, it was still like serious when it happened, and I got hit once in the sternum, like right there, where I also have psoriasis. So there's a lot going on in my chest right there.
Psoriasis friendly podcast.
Yeah, and then I also got hit like once in the leg, right here, top of my head, elbow.
Oh my God, that's got you everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, I was just like, like a cartoon. Yeah, it was crazy. And then there was like this bloody spot on my chin, right? So the guy that shot me literally like laid me down on the ground and was trying, because he felt horrible, because clearly it was an accident.
Yeah.
Laid me down and was like trying to like pop this one that was in my chest like out like a pimple. Like,
oh fuck.
Yeah, didn't work. Like obviously that's
right,
not
that's
how
kind of not how it works. Yeah.
Gunshot wounds work. Yeah. But so I went to the hospital, got them all removed. I was fine, right? 4 years go by. I go to college. Go to my new dentist.
This is crazy.
I know. So I go to my new dentist, and they like put me in that machine that
X-ray
that had X-ray that like spins around you, and they're like, "You have."
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know, because the spot was on my chin. So they looked around the area. There wasn't a bullet in there. I think they thought that I got grazed, and turns out that this bullet went in my chin and like slid through the back of my cheek and like landed there. And it didn't get picked up until I got this dental scan.
Whoa.
And it like overlaid on a tooth, and they thought I needed a root canal. And I was really proud, because I didn't have a cavity before.
Same.
So I was like, they're like, you have this huge cavity on your root. Like, we're going to need to do an extraction immediately. They're like, does it not hurt? I was like, no, I've never had a cavity before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it turns out it was like, I felt around and it was like in there.
Oh my God.
I know. So I just never, maybe one day I'll get it out.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to get my face cut open.
I mean, yeah.
But I'm also like, am I leaching like lead off of this bullet inside of me? Like, I don't know.
Also true.
Yeah. But maybe that's why I'm like kind of quirky.
Yeah, it gives
like
you a little
lead
spice.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little touch of lead poisoning.
Right.
It really does something for the personality. That's really crazy.
Yeah, it's one of my craziest stories.
That's kind of like fucked up.
It was really fucked up. And like the people that were there, like kind of joke about it, or like looking back, it's like, but I was like, it's like not a joke. Like,
yeah, that's not really funny.
Especially with like how inundated our society is with guns and like gun deaths and yeah, it's just
I
crazy.
think that's what's even so crazy about how almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, we're just so used to it now.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. I mean, even now, like you see a school shooting and I think you're way less phased maybe than we were like even 5-10 years ago.
I know.
Which is really fucked up. I mean, that's not cool.
I got scammed at the farmer's market.
Did you?
A guy told me that he was like a shooting survivor and conned me out of $40.
Fuck.
I know. But like, of course I believed it because
Yeah.
like, yeah, you tell me like that happened. Why would I not?
There have been plenty.
Common. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a friend was like, yeah, like we got that same spiel. Like he said it happened like last week. And then they're like, yeah, we got that same spiel like a month ago, or no, like farmer's market last fall.
Last
so
season.
I reported it to Zelle and they were like, yeah, this account has been closed down that like I sent the money to.
Damn.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
But they got Luke and I for sure. Yeah. We sent $40.
I mean, it's one of those things too, where not to like make the man's story more credible, but he could easily just like pick a day and stick to it.
Well, here's the thing. It was believable until I pull out my phone and go, and he's like we do like a moment of silence, tells the story, and he's like, by the way, there's a $40 Zelle minimum. And I was like record scratch. Like, wait a minute. Like, there's not such thing as a Zelle minimum. Yeah.
I will say, anytime I've ever encountered anyone who's using Zelle over any of the other apps, they're usually scamming the shit out of you.
I know, because I said
even
Venmo,
on Facebook
and he's like,
Marketplace.
we got Zelle.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Yeah. Have you ever been scammed on Facebook Marketplace?
I've definitely come close. It hasn't happened. But I've had more so when I'm like trying to sell something versus buy something.
Yeah. Yes.
Like so many people are like, Zelle, and I want to buy it and I'll just pay right now, but you have to Venmo me or you have to Zelle me this, and it's like, no the fuck I don't.
Yeah, no the fuck I don't.
I sort of know the rules of Zelle and that's not it.
Somebody told me they she was trying to buy my couch, allegedly.
Yep.
And
Keyword.
And they were, she was saying, I'm a young woman. I would feel a lot safer if we could do like a security clearance on this. And I was like, of course. Like, I don't want you to feel like, bring as many people as you want, by the way. Like, I don't want you to be uncomfortable buying this couch.
Yeah.
And she was like, what's your email? So I gave her my email. All of a sudden I get a text that's like, here's your Google code, like, for your missing password. And she has the gall to fucking DM me and be like, oh, so I just sent a code that's going to go like, it's for like a background check. Can you like send it to me? And I said,
how stupid does she think you are?
I know. But I was like, good try.
Yeah. Yeah, so close, bestie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's kind of sad to think about that, though, because even if I think about if, like, my mom were going to sell something on Facebook Marketplace, like, that bitch would fall for that in an instant.
That's the sad thing, because it's like, I mean, I got scammed. I'm, like, a pretty well-read, like, informed, street-smart young man, and I still fell for that shit at the farmer's market.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like, they get my sweet grandma on there. She's going to be wiring, like, 20 grand to somebody thinking she's, like, helping a good cause.
Really saving the world. Yeah. Sad. What farmer's market?
Lincoln Park.
Okay. I haven't been to that one yet.
Yeah, they were. Well, here's the thing. They also said that the farmer's market was going to be matching the donation. So I was like, oh
my God, spreading rumors on rumors.
I know.
That's crazy.
But the farmer's market's great. We should go sometime.
I love that. Have you been? Have you been in one here, Logan?
I have. I went last
fun.
weekend, actually.
Yeah.
Me and Luke went, and I just ate everything that I saw.
Kind of the best. Yeah.
I got a scone. I got a piece of bread. I got a bagel.
As you should.
We got Pufferges. I got crackers, like everything that was made of bread.
Yeah.
I ate.
Duh.
And then I went home and I ate some more.
I know. We were actually gonna go. Mackenzie ran the half, and Grace and I went. Grace, James, and I went down to like cheer her on, and then we went to the market. But we ended up just like getting brunch at Longman and Eagle and staying there and having a lot of drinks.
Oh, the place you told me about earlier.
Longman and Eagle's so good.
Can we also give Mackenzie a shout out right now?
Yes.
For like, congratulations on running your first half marathon.
It's very exciting. It was fun to see. James and I had an impossible time. I haven't been on the Blue Line in a while, and it was like not picking up at the stop that I usually go to on the weekends only, which of course it was the weekend.
Of course.
So then we tried to do the bus, but then the bus wasn't coming, got delayed, whatever. Then we tried to buy an Uber. Even Ubers were like few and far between. So I was like, we're not gonna make it to the finish line in time. We got there like just in the nick of time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't even know they were running. Here's the thing.
Oh my God, and it was 10,000 people.
10,000 people.
Yeah.
And I slept through that.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. I also didn't go to bed until like 7 because it was Sunday morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to bed at like 7 that night.
7?
7.
As in the morning?
6:55 a.m. Yeah. In the morning.
Insane.
Playing a little snaker.
Totally.
Just one round. But I was just like up being goofy. And then I didn't wake up until like noon. And everybody was like, I like log onto Instagram and it's like, I just ran a half marathon.
I know.
Like,
so many people did it.
Just, like,
I was busy.
I was busy.
Yeah.
I was dreaming.
Getting a good night's rest. Getting that REM.
Yeah. I'm like, my skin has to stay clear. So I need to sleep.
There's something to be said for beauty sleep.
Yeah, there is.
I know. Well, and so we didn't make it to the market that day, but that market's really fun. The Logan Square Farmers Market. But the first time I ever went, which was last season when we had first moved here, my friends Ruth and Zoe were visiting. And so we all went up to the market, and there are like tons of activist groups who, speak for their cause outside of the market.
Being active.
Yes, being active. And I think it was the ACLU was there. Got caught in conversation with one of like their people. My friend Ruth ended up signing up for like some $20 a month donation thing. Again, awesome, totally great cause. But we were like chatting with this woman for so long, and then we finally got to move on. And a different group, it was like two guys, somewhat ironically, being like, do you have a second to talk about women's rights? And I was like, I'm just going to be head down. I don't want to get stuck again. We hadn't even been into the market yet. And so I'm like, on my way in, do I have a second to talk about women's rights? I was like, no. And James makes eye contact with the guy.
And James is like, I do.
And on the way in, James goes, he was like, so the guy's like, do you have a second to talk about women's rights? And James goes, he said something along the lines of, we've been talking to people.
Damn right, James. Fuck him up.
Literally. And then we make it all the way around the market. And then on the way out, the other guy, same organization, got him a second time. And James just goes, "We are with you." And I was like, could you not do a more straight guy thing right now? Like, that's actually nuts. It was so
God.
crazy. Like, we've been talking to people. I was like, who says that?
That's kind of like a mic drop moment right there. I'd be like, yes, we have. I love that.
It was crazy. I don't think that they knew what to say.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, yeah.
I almost got a canvassing job.
Did
like
you?
My first job. I guess that's not technically canvassing, but the idea
Same
of like
vein.
speaking to people on the street, yeah. Didn't take it. There's actually no more to that story other than like
I think it'd be really hard.
it was my first job offer out of college, and I was like,
That was like a full-time gig?
$27,000. Like, I'm gonna be rich
Totally.
in Seattle.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, my mom was like, you can't do that.
Which also, like, you would have, like, in Seattle, that amount of money would go nowhere.
Nowhere. That's like 2 months of rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I didn't do that.
How'd you end up in Chicago?
That's a good question. This is a fun story too. I don't know if my stories are all that fun, but I make them fun.
You're just a fun person, so it's easy.
Thank you. Yeah. So, I grew up in Texas.
Yeah.
And I think I was looking for a bigger fishbowl, as I called it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel very seen for like my identity, gay,
Especially in Texas.
And like my mom is queer as well, so like grew up with like her and like a female partner like basically my whole life, and like we weren't churchgoers. There was just like a lot that separated us from like this regular nuclear family that we were around at all times. So I was like, you know what? When I graduate from here, as much as I love Austin, like I'm out.
Yeah.
And so.
Does your family still live there?
No, actually, my mom moved to Mexico.
Oh, shit.
With my grandma.
Damn,
my
that's
grandma
crazy.
moved there when I was in high school. Yeah, she retired there. She ended up getting sick. My mom moved down there. Grandma's fine now. Now they both live there.
Not a bad place to end up.
Not a bad place to end up at all. Like, it's a great place to like go visit.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a master's in oceanography. That's like what I was.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you would never know that, right? Because
Damn, that's crazy.
don't do anything with it. Yeah.
There's sort of like no ocean by Chicago.
There's not an ocean here. Yeah. Write that one down. No ocean in Chicago. So I was studying oceanography. I was working for a lab. The lab was funded by basically, so the Deepwater Horizon oil spill happened. Because of that, BP pledged like $500 million back to the government, and that money was used to fund labs all around the U.S. that did ocean research.
Okay.
So I worked for like a lab that it was the Geochemical and Environmental Research Group. So I studied like chemical oceanography, working in the water column and how that was affected by oil spills, and how that I did my research on coral reefs. But
okay,
that's the background of it. And then Trump was president when I was in college, and
what a time.
Yeah, and so when the new I don't know how it all works, but like the budgets got cut for like every organization that funded the research lab that I worked for. So that was like the National Institute of Health, NOAA, NASA. Like we were doing contracts with all these people. And so I lost my job, and so I was laid off like literally my last semester. And then I was like, well, fuck, like, what am I going to do? So I just started applying for jobs everywhere. So I applied to a couple of oceanography jobs in San Diego, random, like that. I don't know how I even applied for a canvassing job in like Seattle, Denver, New York, Chicago, just like places, big cities that I felt like I would be comfortable in someday. Got a couple offers here and there. None of them were actually like ones that would make sense for me to take, or, So anyway, I applied for this teaching job, and it was teaching chemistry and physics. Excuse me.
Oh my God. Okay, science teacher.
Yes, I was a science teacher. Spoiler alert, I got the job. I was working for the diverse learning program. So it was like students with all levels of learning ability and special needs. And
like what ages?
High school.
Damn.
Yeah. So it was
that's
like
crazy.
Worked with like English learners and DACA recipients, and basically any student that could not be in the traditional classroom because of whatever measure that was, they couldn't just do like the normal K-12 experience. I shouldn't say normal, but they didn't do the traditional K-12 experience because they needed extra supports. They were in my class. So yeah, I taught
that's very cool.
Yeah, but I didn't get the job. I decided to move to Chicago. I don't really know why I landed on it, but I told my mom I wanted to move here, and she was like, I support you, let's go. And so we packed up a U-Haul, and I signed a lease here. And when I was in the U-Haul, like on the drive, we almost made it to St. Louis, and I got the job offer via email. And so my mom and I like pulled over on the side of the road.
So you were like moving anyway.
I was like moving regardless. I was like, I've like, because I had like worked for that research lab, I had like a little bit of money saved up. Thank God I got a job because I did not realize how expensive.
Oh, fuck
my rent in Texas was like $400.
$400.
$420.
Damn.
For my portion of a 4-bedroom house with a yard and a 6-car driveway and like in-unit laundry. Yeah, so I just like didn't have really a concept of. I was like, I have so much money, like I can survive for months. Well, thank God I got a job because like I would have been on my ass in Chicago in like less than a year.
Yeah.
So I got the job and I started doing that, and then
that's very cool.
Yeah, that's like my story.
Okay, I feel like teaching high school age kids would be insane.
It was insane, but I feel like I really connected with them. Like I'm
I feel
very
like they
much
would love you.
I'd like to think that they did.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm very much like a Gen Z myself. Like I understand the references that they make. I watch. I'm on the same side of TikTok as them. Like I
for better or for
consume
worse.
the same media. Yeah, for better, mainly for worse. But I consume the same type of media. It was just easy to converse with them. Like we had the same lingo. They thought I was cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved it. I did like ran like a little advisory for like all the queer students, and so like
that's so cool.
got to help. Yeah, I was like, I feel like I did my part, but then it got really hard, and
especially in the pandemic. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I could like barely take care of myself, and I don't think I was like showing up well. So it was more of like a decision. Like I don't think I'm the best role model. I'm not the person that I want to be showing up for these students, especially like after 2 years or a year of like.
I mean, that amount of pressure on yourself, on them. Hard.
Yeah, it was hard, and I was like, I got my own shit to figure out. So I ended up stepping away, and joined that tech startup. That's where I've been ever since.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
But I don't have any plans on leaving Chicago. Like, I love this place.
I know, I love it too. We left for a similar reason. It was just like Madison's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always wanted to be in a big city. I actually didn't plan to stay in Madison for as long as I did. I didn't even plan to go to college there per se, and it's a hard school to get into. And I was like fine in high school, but I wasn't like an A student by any means. And so I was like a B plus kind of girl, an occasional C in math.
Smarty pants.
And so when I got into Madison, I was kind of like, okay, can't pass that up, in-state tuition.
Right.
So I ended up going and it was fine, but I stayed in Madison a lot longer than I had even intended. And then pandemic hit, and I was kind of like, okay, either we move right now and it's hard, or maybe we wait a couple years. And we ended up waiting, which was fine. Pandemic in Madison was not fun. All of our friends, James still had some friends in the area, but all of our friends had like moved.
Were you working at the time?
I was working. I got furloughed. I was working for my sort of insane boss.
Right.
And
that woman.
Yeah. And she was like, it was very interesting to be working for her at that time too, because she was like very anti-mask, the whole like, which it did shut down her business. And I understand that that's very hard, especially in a high touch. She was a salon owner. And so it's a high touch job.
Yeah.
And like, obviously that sucks. And a lot of the stylists, like their livelihood was gone for several months, whatever. Like that's really hard. That doesn't mean don't do the thing that's going to help people.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and then it just it got super political after that. And I was like, okay, I knew that we didn't like see eye to eye, but I was like, I didn't know it was quite this stark of a difference.
Sure.
And I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
So can you explain to me the difference between what does furlough mean again?
So when I got furloughed, I like still worked for her.
Okay.
I just got my hours way cut.
Okay.
So I was working like, I'm not even kidding you, like 4 hours a week. It was crazy.
So it's not technically laid off, but it's like minimal.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
And so it was like, it was very, I wasn't making ends meet by any means. You can still, I could still go on unemployment, even though I wasn't like fully unemployed.
Okay.
So I was also cashing that check. That was like the most money I had made in a minute. I was like, damn, I love this.
Those checks
Government
were fat.
money. There was so much money.
Yeah.
And I also wasn't spending money at the time. Because like, where's there to go? Everything's
What are you
closed.
going to spend money on?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was sort of crazy. I don't think my savings account has ever been fatter than it was during the pandemic, which is maybe my own problem. But
Yeah.
so, but yeah, and I don't know. It was like, I wanted to move. I think that James kind of wanted to move. But I just feel like you stay younger so much longer in a big city.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much to do here. I feel like excited about turning 27 versus like being like, oh fuck, 27, you know? Like,
Right.
So.
Well, we're so happy you're here. Like, I
Thank you.
love that I got to meet you and like be friends with you now.
We feel really lucky too because we moved here. I think moving's hard. I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this. Like,
Yeah.
You move to a new city, you don't know anybody. Like, it's hard. And I just feel like we lucked out with everyone we've met here so far. Like, truly, I just feel so fucking lucky because everyone's been awesome and very like open arms.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I feel the same way. Like, when I met the group of people that I know you through,
yeah.
something unlocked that I was like, why would I ever, I would love to theoretically like living in another new city like New York or LA or like that sounds fun, but like in reality I have such a staple community here. I don't have any family around here. My family doesn't live in the United States,
right?
So like
literally,
right? Yeah. And so I'm like I have to form community elsewhere, and like I just can't imagine.
Yeah,
like
no, it
thank
fucking
God,
rocks.
like these people fucking rock. Yeah,
and it's awesome because for me, like a lot of the friends that I grew up with. I mean, I kind of just added on. Like, I had my high school friends. I added more in college, and it was just, like, kind of kept building. And then everyone, like, it was time to go do something new.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I expect to find something great, but I don't know if I would have, like, something similar to that. And it is. And it's only been a couple months, so obviously I think it's only going to get better.
It's only... You need to experience summer here.
I know, I'm very excited for that.
People, it's like... I mean, it's feral. It really is.
I can like taste it.
But in the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it taste like?
Delicious. It tastes like a juicy little watermelon.
That is too good. Yep.
I'm just very excited. Like I've been to Chicago in the summer, but not as a resident.
Living in this fucking phenomenal space with your rooftop deck, and
I am excited to make use of that.
Yeah. We're gonna get you a grill and we're gonna grill out here.
Grills for beginners.
Girl summer.
Straight up. Maybe I'll get on the grill. Maybe I'll man the grill. Maybe that's something I'll learn how to do. James cooks in the kitchen, I man the grill.
Honestly, like once the hardest part is turning it on. You got to figure out like how do you turn the gas on? Like how do I ignite this thing? And then when you do, it's like a pan. Like it's literally just like cooking on a skillet.
Okay, I can do that.
And the hard part is also like when you know meat is done, but like that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
You don't even have to cook meat on there.
Just hope the best.
Veggies.
Yeah.
Do you eat meat?
I eat meat.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea of not eating meat, but I sort of love the way it tastes. So
I didn't eat meat for a while, and then it was like the tail end of grad school. And then I moved to Chicago, and my lifestyle was a lot more active. I mean, I was biking everywhere and just like doing the most. And I started dropping weight like crazy.
Really?
And like I'm already like
sense.
not like I don't have much weight to lose, So I was like, I should probably start eating meat again. And then I started like munching that shit down.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I'm like,
God, it's so
a
good.
steak?
I know.
Sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's delicious.
I know people are like, I stopped eating meat and I like never missed the taste of it. I'm like,
liar.
Oh, I was like salivating, like looking at pepperoni. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where I don't cook a lot of meat myself. So in the house, I probably don't eat it a ton. But when I go out to eat, I'm getting some with meat for sure.
Yeah. No, it's like easy. I don't actually eat a lot of meat at home now that I think about it. But yeah, going out.
I feel like that's a good way to live.
It's a good way to live, yeah. Flexitarianism, right?
Okay,
it's like
that's
it's
good
a good way
I've
to
never
like
heard that.
cut meat out of your diet. I'd like to do that for the sake of the environment.
Totally.
Not so much like my body, but Also, like, I need it to sustain sometimes,
I know.
and that's okay.
Yes, it is. It's all about balance.
It's all about balance.
Everything in proportion.
Everything in proportion, including proportions.
Truly.
Truly, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. But
do you remember when you used to get like the fucking like plate before dinner, like the
with the animal heads,
like the map? No.
Oh, I was thinking the one with like the little ears. And like... no, not like a real animal head. Like the ones that were like animals' faces, and then you could put like something in the ear and something in the.
Like as in like paper plate style?
Yeah, they were paper plates.
Cute.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my god. Anyway, continue with your story. I'll show you a picture later.
All I was going to say was, you remember when like before your proportions, it was like the My Plate thing?
Yes, I do remember
that
this.
That shit was so wrong.
We were talking about the food pyramid the other day. Remember like when milk was like, it's like the third tier?
Yeah. The way that America like loved milk for a second, even like the whole Got Milk bit, like
Got Milk, I know.
That shit was crazy.
That shit was fucking crazy.
And it was just because the dairy industry wasn't making money. Like there wasn't really, it's not actually good for your bones or whatever.
And you know what I did after that? I drank a glass of whole milk for like 10 years every single day.
Totally.
Do you think that was good for me? Like, no, I was lied to by the government.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I know that shit's crazy.
This shit was crazy.
I mean, I'm a Wisconsin girl, so I like milk.
I'm not going to pretend I don't like milk.
Yeah.
I love milk.
James used to drink skim.
Oh.
And I was like, that's
like water.
Sick. You're pouring a little water in your milk. Like, yeah. Honestly, not even. You're pouring a little milk in your water.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
disgusting.
That is disgusting.
I drink 2%. I like whole every once in a while, but it is a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
I would drink before swim practice. you know what Carnation instant breakfasts were?
No.
Oh my God. It was like this. I think it was like a version of like, you know, like the protein powder that you take to the gym and it's like a chocolate milkshake. It was like that. And I had like this one specific glass at home and I would like load that bitch up with some whole milk and pour like one or two of these packets of Carnation. I mean, I was just like,
oh my God, that's crazy.
But I mean, I was burning so many calories. I was on 2 swim teams. So like,
yeah.
And
the amount that swimmers in high school, the amount that they could eat, I was like, that's crazy.
I was eating. It actually hasn't stopped. I like still eat so much food. But I would eat that and then I would make like 6 little corn tortillas and I would like put peanut butter in them and like roll them up. Drink that on the way to school.
That's crazy.
And then eat those. Yeah. And then I would.
That's like so much protein.
Way too much. Like I was shitting.
Yeah.
A lot.
For sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
The Shit Friendly podcast.
Yeah, I know. Actually, there was a whole episode about that. I remember. Yeah. And so I just did that for like. And then I got to college and I was like, oh, people eat like an apple for breakfast? That's crazy.
Totally.
I was eating 4,000 calories before 5 a.m.
That's fucking insane.
I know.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing burns calories like swimming, though. Nothing.
It's a good workout. I love it. It keeps me.
I've never done it for sport. I definitely. I was a member of a pool, like a neighborhood pool, and a lot of the kids were on swim team.
You were a member,
but I was kind of you had to be.
Gotcha.
So thank God my parents did that. I was just kind of in it for like all the hot lifeguards.
Girl, weren't we all?
Yeah.
Weren't we all? Why do you think I got a job at the YMCA?
Duh. I know, and it's so funny too, because all the kids that I know who did swim team at that pool, it's such a culture. Like you if you grow up doing it, you do it forever. And you also you do the lifeguard thing.
You swim for the same club.
Yeah.
You like become a lifeguard.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you join your club team in college.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing.
Nuts.
What was your first job?
My first job was at a restaurant. I was a hostess.
Ooh.
It was actually my favorite restaurant in Madison, or I guess kind of like in the burbs. I don't know if I'd call it my favorite restaurant anymore. Once you kind of like pulled the curtain back, you're like, ick. But it is a cool place.
Was there a raccoon in there?
No raccoons that I know of.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we do sort of have a raccoon in this establishment, but that's a different story.
He's a tenant.
He is. I hope he's paying rent. As long as he's chipping in. But it was a fun job. I'm not cut out for the service industry, which I quickly learned because I've never been more stressed at a job than I was at my hostess job. Like I was like, the servers are like so mad at you if you seat them their table and they don't want to be sat or like whatever's happening. It's like, it's actually crazy.
Was it political? Like the
the
politics of the restaurant, I should say.
I don't even know. I feel like a little bit of it was, It was like, well, and the restaurant was really interesting because it's called Quivy's Grove. It's like 2 restaurants, sort of. There's a barn, which is like...
Oh, I know a barn.
Yeah, there's a barn, which
I've been in plenty
like,
of those.
which is like burgers and fries.
Okay.
And then there's a house, which is like steak and potatoes. So the house, everyone's like a little more dressed up, the people that go there to eat. And like you're usually going to one or the other. The barn has like a big bar in it, and like all the wait staff are just wearing, we all had polos. We had like sort of like polo.
Oh.
Yeah. Polo uniform. Literally, I've never smelled a shirt that smelled as bad as that shirt did, but it smelled like fried food and sweat. It was disgusting.
Oh.
Maroon, had to wear it several times a week. Great.
Was it like the dry fit kind of polo too, or was it?
It was like grandpa on a golf course polo.
Got it.
Yeah.
Those do.
Oh, they
rank.
hold
stink.
smell.
Whenever I would wear those and like dry fit shirt, I don't know what. It doesn't happen as much anymore. Honestly, maybe it's because I was drinking all these carnations. But all my workout clothes would smell like chocolate when I was done.
No
working
fucking
out.
way.
Yeah, like my pheromones were just
That's
like straight up.
interesting.
And I would like put it on my body, and after 5 minutes, I would be like, I smell like chocolate, and people would be like, No, you're crazy. And I was
That's
like,
so
I smell like
funny.
chocolate. Yeah.
Well, I will say, whenever like James smokes weed and then like gets sweaty, I feel like it's like coming out of his pores.
I think that.
So there was something to be said
happens.
about that.
That's when you drink like a little too much tequila and you like go on a run the next morning. And you're like, ooh.
And yeah, we're just sweating it out.
Me on Sunday morning.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, first jobs are crazy. Mine was fine. I've worked there for a long time. I actually worked there from like late high school to my first. I worked there through my first summer after college.
Whoa. That's a long time.
It was a long time. It was a good job. The people were nice. It didn't pay very well by any means.
Do first jobs ever?
No.
I guess I did my first job was at a flower shop when I was like 14.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it a lot. I love flowers.
Were you doing like arrangements and stuff? Because there's an art to that.
Yeah. So I learned how to do that eventually. But it was...
That's like level 2.
It's like one of my mom's best friends. I call her my aunt. So I'll just refer to her as that now. But she was a financial asset manager, and she had a client that like left her this big Austin flower shop. And so she like took it over, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was like when it first happened, like me and her son, Omar, we would shout out Omar. We would like go in with her, and like we would at first it was a lot of like updating the point of sale systems and
totally
understanding the inventory, and then there was like one lady named Marcy, and she would like teach me how to make arrangements. And
That's
then,
so fun.
yeah, so it was like kind of like an under the table type of job.
Yeah.
And then I got that lifeguarding job. And I guess same thing. Like I worked there up through, I didn't have an internship my freshman year of college.
Same.
So I went
I didn't
back
get one for
there.
a while. I was too scared of that.
YMCA of Austin, and got a little love of that place.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I had some crazy coworkers. There was one guy that killed a man accidentally and then tried to like cover the body.
At
like
the
a whole
YMCA?
not at the YMCA. He was like, I think he got arrested in like when we were in high school. Like they like came into the class, but like
oh my God.
they basically like hit this man while he was like jogging, and then they like dragged him into a ditch.
Whoa.
Yeah, and like
Only in Texas.
Sorry, that was like a dark story, but yeah, I just had
That's
like
crazy.
the craziest coworkers. Loved them. There was this one guy that like, I don't know if he like threw real shit or like fake shit into the pool to try to get it to close.
He was like, I want to go home.
He was like, I want to go home. Mad respect, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on his side with this one.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, girl, you have a 4-hour shift.
I hope
like,
it was fake shit.
I think it was, but it was like, I always loved... Okay, glad this is a poop-friendly podcast, but like, when like a kid would have like diarrhea in the pool, we'd have to close it for 48 hours. So
48?
48.
Oh my
Solid
God.
poop, 60 minutes. Diarrhea, 48 hours. So when I heard like a kid shit in the pool, I was like, please be diarrhea.
Oh my
like,
God, that's
I want to
so
go home. I know, and we
crazy.
still get paid too. So
Is there like a scale of like solid to soft?
I think it was kind of subjective. It was about the cleanliness of it because we had to like
Yeah.
shock it and filter it. So if we were able to get all of it out, then it was fine. We would just have to shock the water, and then
Sure.
you basically just like check the chemicals after 30 minutes and an hour, and if they're balanced again, you're fine. But yeah, with diarrhea, that shit gets like sucked back into the filter, and like you are good to go for a couple days.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you have like chlorine hair growing up?
Green hair?
Yeah.
Yes, because I had the nastiest fucking hair.
I think that just comes with the culture.
I think I was telling you at dinner, like I had like a Justin Bieber cut, but like also a mullet, but like also like the wings over my ears and like
Totally.
bangs that covered my eyes. And I thought I was like
That's a lot
hot
of
shit.
things.
It was a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was a lot of things going on at once. And I mean, I would cut it. My mom would make me cut it sometimes, and it would like look cute. I mean, it was like shaggy surfer boy.
Yeah.
But I would literally, I would take the cap off of a Sun-In bottle. I wouldn't even spray it. I would pour it into my hair, dunk my head into the pool, like get it super chlorine, and like sunbathe for hours on end. And it was like orange,
Yep.
blonde. And I thought I looked so good.
I definitely had my Sun-In days. I never had like the full chlorine bleach vibe because I wasn't that active at swimming. I was sort of a lounger by the pool. But yeah, Sun-In had its time for sure.
It sure did.
Yeah.
I think I would pour like pool chemicals in my hair, like off the record, like stealing them from the YMCA and like being like, this is going to make me like bleach my hair. Yeah. And then I would like go to school and like let girls braid it.
Duh.
Because
I'm surprised pieces just didn't come right out.
they did.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Don't worry, they did.
That'll happen.
Yeah. But I like it helped form me to the person I am today. I don't do that to my hair anymore. So
Yeah, your hair looks great.
thank you. Thank you so much.
We have actually very similar hair.
We do have similar hair. Yeah.
Cut, color, etc.
I like go through these phases where I can't tell like what I want to do with my hair. Like
Same.
sometimes it's long, sometimes there's a mullet, sometimes for the longest I would like middle part it, and it kind of looked like people would always think I was a little hutty. Like I got asked like
sure.
2 times on the
Like
street
with
if I
that
was a little
90s.
hutty. Yeah.
I can kind of see that.
Because it was like a little darker in the winter, and like we have
Yeah.
like a very similar face, and
Yeah.
so
That's funny. I feel like you're much taller than he is.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen him in person.
I guess same.
Is he like 5'9"?
He's giving me short king.
Oh, yeah. I'm not that. Yeah.
You're very tall.
I am. I'm a little. Well, I'm not like super tall. Somebody told me I was like I'm a 6 foot, and they're like, no, you're not. You're 5'11". And I was like, okay, get out the fucking tape measure, bitch. Like, let's go. I'd love to see this prove you wrong.
Yeah, my dad's 5'11", and I mean he's like happily 5'11". He's not out here trying to be otherwise.
Maybe I'm lying a little bit. I think I'm like
I feel like
5'11", 3/4.
I feel like you're giving taller than my
7/8.
dad.
Yeah. Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, the doctor told me I'm 6 foot, so I was like,
Doctors don't lie.
they don't. They never have.
They never have. Never once.
How tall are you?
I'm like a good 5'7", I
Okay.
think. Last I checked.
Yeah. Any changes since then?
I don't think so. I wear a lot of heels though.
Mm.
Love a heel. So it's tough. And James, I think, is 5'6". He would like to say 5'7", but I don't think that's true. That's fine though.
James is a great height. Like, he's just such a stud. Like,
He owns it.
he owns it. Like, he's so confident. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
10 years that you've been together.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
kind of fucked up,
crazy.
but yeah, it's a little bit sick. But yeah, it's been a good 10 years.
I'm trying
It's
to
just
think.
like I couldn't even tell you any other thing that I've done for 10 years. It's just like crazy.
Right. I'm trying to think who I was dating 10 years ago. This one boy that would not be.
Totally.
Yeah, when I was, that would just not be. I've grown.
James and I did the cool thing. It broke up a couple times.
Yeah, that is cool.
So it's cool. So I think it's like 10 years, give or take, but
Give or take a month or two here.
Yeah. but like on the record, 10.
Yeah, no, I claim that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, when I get married someday, it's gonna be like, oh, the day I met you, that's when we started dating. Oh, yeah, we've been dating for 12 years.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we met in
Exactly.
elementary school. We've been on and off since then. You know.
Honestly, I know it's like kind of crazy because at some point relatively soon, that'll be like more than half my life, and that kind of makes me want to throw up.
Whoa, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Ick.
Ick. So you've been dating for 10 years, but how long did you know each other?
So we met in like middle school.
Okay.
Youth ministry.
Right. You told me that.
Which my grandma loves. She's obsessed with that fact. Catholic woman. Yep. But James went to Catholic school, and I just kind of did the like thing where you learn about Jesus on Wednesdays.
Sure. What is it with Wednesdays and Jesus?
I don't know.
That was a big thing in Texas,
Huge.
too.
Always
Huge.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I did the whole bit, like I got confirmed or whatever. Haven't been to church in several years.
Does that mean you can take the crackers and wine?
I can.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's really dope. I was always jealous about that. Yeah.
My dad, he would always come to church with us, but he's Lutheran, which is kind of just like a different flavor of Christian. But I guess whatever, he could never get the cracker. He would have to stay seated.
Poor guy. Mm-hmm. I bet they taste really good, do they?
They literally don't taste like anything.
Oh.
And I always had kind of like a problem with drinking the blood of Christ, if you will, the wine, because everyone's drinking out of the same cup. That's disgusting.
Right.
Especially in a post-COVID world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we were doing some fucked up shit beforehand.
Ick. Which I think they literally still do that. I think they went back to, for like a hot second, they were giving everyone their own individual, like, fucking Dixie cup or something. Like, I don't think that the blood of Christ was ever intended to be sucked out of a Dixie cup, but who am I to say?
But you know what? In a post-COVID world, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would be like, can you waterfall it? Like,
straight up.
Yeah. Like,
sometimes I would refuse it. I'd just be like, no, thank you.
I'm not thirsty today.
Yeah, not thirsty.
Was it real wine?
I don't know. I think yes. I don't know if it's like, I guess, okay, I know nothing about wine. If you ferment something, does it automatically become alcoholic? I have to assume that the alcohol content
the alcohol
is
like a byproduct. So, like, it would take a little bit of time. But, yeah, like, I would assume so.
So it certainly tasted like wine.
I mean, if it had the funk, like,
yeah,
it was probably wine.
But, I mean, you're literally getting a sip.
Right.
So you're not getting
Hey, when I was 17, like,
yeah.
I was, like, fist fighting people over, like, a 27th of like a drop of vodka.
That's part of the teen
experience. I feel crazy, you know?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Same.
Yeah, I feel like I remember one time, like, me and my friends all shared like a twisted tea or like a Four Loko, like 6 of us, and we thought we hit the jackpot.
Totally.
And now I like have 3 martinis at dinner, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, well, what's next?
I know. I will say though, drinking Four Locos, especially at that age, that was like a different.
They're so good.
It like shot you to the moon.
It did.
That shit was crazy.
Did you ever do that thing where you would like tape them to your hands?
No.
Oh yeah, we did that.
I guess there's a name for that. Or like if you do it with like handles.
Edward Four Loko hands.
Okay, no, what am I thinking of? It's something similar. But it's like with 40.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Maybe it's just Edward 40 hands or something. It's like with like fucking liters of.
Right. Of like malt liquor. Yeah. Been there.
Yeah. I sort of didn't participate in those activities. I'll like have a sip when I want some. But I feel like that was very much like a boy thing.
I just loved Four Loko. Like I would drink it in lieu of water.
That.
Well, I wouldn't drink it in lieu of water. But like I would be like, I'm thirsty right now at a party. I would rather have this than a glass of water.
Totally. That makes sense to me.
Know, I think about that with like twisted tea. I love twisted tea.
I love twisted tea.
That shit is fire.
It's so good.
It's so good. Apparently there's like a new flavor. Somebody was telling me about it. Yeah, it was. I can't even remember. I shouldn't even.
Could you get like Arnold Palmer's? Was that a thing?
Yes.
In Texas?
Like the iced tea lemonade. Yeah.
Which is essentially twisted tea just in a cup.
Basically. I loved the Arizona.
Yeah.
Like the lemon flavor, which was basically an Arnold Palmer with like 45 pounds of sugar in it. That shit was too good. Yeah. That was like a road trip drink right there.
I sense a delicious drink of the summer coming our way.
What is the drink of the summer?
Well, honestly, that's a great question. For me, I feel like recently I've been drinking a lot of Negronis, and I feel like I have to like get off that train in the summer. That is not a summer drink.
No, you can stay on it.
You think?
Yeah, I'll drink them with you.
Okay.
I love a Spagliato. Yeah. I love an Aperol Spritz. I love a Negroni.
I do love an Aperol Spritz. That's kind of like the summer version, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, you're right. Like,
Negronis just feel so... I mean, maybe because they're literally a liquor-based drink. It's like all alcohol.
True.
They feel heavy.
Those are like, I mean, it's better than like drinking a Long Island.
True.
Or it's basically is drinking a Long Island.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. I know. I want to make like a signature cocktail for James's party for his birthday, so I have to start thinking about that.
Ooh, good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you brainstorm at some point. I love mixing a cocktail.
I know, same. It's not something that I like do a ton because I feel like usually at the home I'm having like wine and I'm not getting that crafty with it, but I love cocktails.
Do you drink a lot of wine?
I drink a good amount of wine. I honestly don't drink a ton at home.
Yeah. That wine that we had tonight was
thing.
Delish.
I love a Sauvignon
I was a little
Blanc.
buzzed when we started this.
Same.
I'll be honest.
There's no harm in having a little juice in your system before the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, thank you for coming on this pod.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's been so fun. You're going to be a returning guest.
Yes,
You're
I would
really
love
good
to be.
At this.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I never shut up in my daily life, so
that's like the only prerequisite.
I may as well say it into a microphone. The last time I held a microphone, I was singing a Lana Del Rey song at Trader Todd's. So
that's incredible. Is that a karaoke place?
I guess so.
Okay,
yeah, I'd only been there like once before, and somebody was like, "I just queued up this song. You're gonna sing it."
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, I don't have one. I feel the vibe out.
I haven't ever sung karaoke, but I know my song.
Which is?
And honestly, anything, I guess I should say I know my artists. It would be anything ABBA or anything The Cranberries.
Oh my God. Taste.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I have sung a lot of ABBA
it's
at
a classic.
Yeah.
Hits every time. Gets the fans going.
Listening to like Linger in the shower, like lights off.
Makes you feel something.
It makes you feel something.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, well, the last thing we'll do on this pod.
Okay.
Have you done the thought exercise, Rose and a Thorn?
Yeah, I have.
Because obviously my whole podcast is based around being a pessimist.
Right.
However, the thought exercise helps you think of things that are good as well.
Okay.
So I'll go first. I usually do Rose, Thorn, and Bud.
Yeah. Bud is like something about growth.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Like what could you improve upon for next time or like something you're looking forward to? Yeah, growth.
Sure.
So we'll just do today. I would say my rose today. I mean, I didn't work today. I sort of just like woke up this morning. I was like, I need a mental health day. Took it. And I don't do that for myself very often. One, because I'm stingy with my days off. I like want to save most of them, obviously, for doing fun things. And I feel like staying home isn't always fun.
Yeah.
But it is sometimes necessary. So I think that was my rose. It was nice. Also cooking for you because I don't get in the kitchen that often. And it was very fun.
Let me tell you, you fucking killed that shit. It was so good.
Not me asking for compliments. Bud, I would say I didn't go to the grocery store today. I had every intention, but I was too scared to get behind the wheel. So I did Instacart. There's no reason for that, but I just kind of went for it. And I should have probably gone to the store myself because the man gave me so many leeks. I have leeks for days.
Well, the one in the pasta tonight, I mean,
it was delicious.
It was a good leek, yeah.
But yeah, I sort of have like an insane amount of leeks. So that's something. And my bud, something I can improve upon for next time or that I'm looking forward to. I guess I'm just looking forward to hanging out with you more. I really like you. This has been so fun.
This has been so... I am really looking forward to hanging out with you more too, but I'm not going to use that same one because I'm not a I'm not a bud stealer. I'm not a copycat. Never have been. I would say my rose. I mean, this is a given. Like coming over here today, I've heard.
I didn't pay him to say that.
I've heard some whispers that your space was beautiful, like fucking fire, and you were right. Like it's just so inviting. Everything about this is just like very welcoming. I can see why people love coming into your home. And the dinner that you both made me and just this conversation, that was my rose for today.
Yay!
Truly the highlight of my day. I've been looking forward to it for since you invited me. Like I've been telling people all weekend, like, guess what I'm doing Monday.
And I think sometimes when I invite people on the podcast, because like it's not everybody's vibe.
Yeah.
By any means. And sometimes that's hard for me to read anyway. But I was like, I feel like Kyle would be amazing on the pod. And lo and behold, you knocked it out of the water.
Thank you. I remember when you first invited me at Brittany's birthday party. And I was like, I'll be there. You let me know the date and I'm going to be there.
Amazing.
My thorn today was... oh my God. It was when that biker called me a fucking idiot.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I was in the bike lane, so...
It happens.
It happens.
We have to get in the bike lane every once in a while.
You have to cross into the bike lane to be able to parallel park your car. And I think that my bud, was that the last one? Mm-hmm. My bud today is that ever since moving in on my own, I've been learning a lot more about myself than I ever knew. Like I thought I really had myself figured out. And I didn't, but I'm getting to know myself in a more intimate way. And I'm just looking forward to a summer full of like having new friends that I like get to make new memories with, and learning how to just be a better friend to those people,
Totally.
The new ones, the old ones, and the ones that are yet to come.
That's awesome. Is this your first time living alone?
Yeah, ever.
Yeah, I think that's I only did it, literally the closest I have come, if this counts, is like study abroad. So that's the only time I've really lived in my own space. Otherwise I had roommates, or I lived with James, which I guess he's also a roommate.
A little bit.
But so, but like that experience for me was so awesome. Like I think, like you said, it's just like you have so much time with yourself. You have sort of no choice but to learn about yourself.
Yeah.
But that's really good, because sometimes it can be so easy to just like not spend time on that.
Totally.
So then when you're in that space and you have so much alone time, like it's like you kind of learn about yourself all over again. And I think it's good too, because you're obviously a very outgoing person. I feel like you have no problem getting out of the home, seeing people.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like that can also be a hard part of living alone, maybe.
I was worried about that. I was like, am I going to, but I was like, I'm never at home anyway.
Yeah.
So now it's like, it's just easier to recharge. I love my old roommates. Like, I mean, I have 5 sisters too. So like there was always a lot of people around.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I don't need as much time to recharge at home, because it's so for myself that I'm like, 30 minutes, I'm done. Like, let's go back outside.
Totally.
And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I wouldn't think to do this on a Monday night if I
Yeah.
were, tired, exhausted, being at home
Absolutely.
with a bunch of people there. Now I'm like, this is my new normal. So
that's great.
thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm happy to have you here. And thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
I'll be back to chat with you all again next week. I'm sure Kyle will be back soon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And I love you guys so much. Bye.
Bye.
Another cathartic convo in the books. I feel better. How about you? Thank you so much for listening. Now I just want to jump on here and say, don't forget to follow and or subscribe to the pod on your favorite streaming platform for new episodes every single week, because I know you can't get enough of me. Additionally, if you want to gain access to exclusive episodes and lots of other goodies, join our Patreon and support the pod with your hard-earned American dollars. You can find the link in our show notes, or you can also visit us at patreon.com/pessimistic@best. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram @pessimistic@best. And if you're as obsessed with me as I am with you, you can find me at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. And last but not least, I'd like to give a special shout out to my podcast editor and producer, the love of my life, James Arbai, whom I literally could not do this without. So thank you, James. I love you so much. And thank you guys for joining me again this week. I love you too, and I cannot wait to chat with you again soon.